The Kansas City Chiefs got some great news. We'll talk about it, tell you what you need to know in just a matter of moments here on this edition of the Kansas City Chiefs Report. Tyler Jones here with you. Appreciate you joining us. And we are on the verge of 56,000 subscribers on the channel, trying to get there before the first preseason game coming up on Saturday for daily Kansas City Chiefs news and rumors. Live shows, watch parties, Q&A mailbags, breaking news, and more. It's all in one place right here on your Kansas City Chiefs headquarters. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/ChiefsTV for Chiefs coverage you won't find anywhere else, and we'll get started with today's show. Let's begin with this from the Washington Post, from a report that they put out several days ago that said the NFL Players Association has engaged in high-level discussions with the NFL about the potential implementation of an 18-game regular season, the NFL's PA executive director said. And to take that a step further, Lloyd Howell said this in the article in the Washington Post about what we're talking about here. We have talked at a very, very high level, superficially, with a recognition about, this is something that we should be talking about, and we should really kick the tires and understand what else goes into that decision-making process. Goodell, the league's commissioner, has made it very known that he would like to see the NFL go to an 18-game regular season, as he advocated back at the Super Bowl in the State of the League address. He also talked about it at the spring league meetings with owners, also talked about private equity potentially being involved in ownership. And Joe Burrow was on the Pardon My Take podcast with Barstool Sports with Big Cat and PMT a while back. And the idea that he had put out there was going to 18 games, you take out a preseason game, which is something that Goodell had talked about as well, adding an extra bye week, moving the Pro Bowl to sometime during the season instead of being before or after the Super Bowl like it's been traditionally speaking. And that's something you could potentially do now the Pro Bowl is a flag football game, as opposed to when we used to play 11-on-11 American tackle football in the Pro Bowl. So with that said, you may be saying to yourselves, all right, 18 games, why is that good for the Kansas City Chiefs? And that's where I come in to explain. Let's break this down to you piece by piece of why 18 games would be a good thing for Kansas City. Number one, extra money to spend. It's all about the Benjamins, right? We always want to make it rain. And extra money means a couple things. More games equals more money, more revenue, more money the league is making, more money for everybody, right? And a bigger salary cap. And if you look at the Kansas City Chiefs salary cap situation beyond 2024 and into 2025 in the future, it's not looking great right now. The Chiefs need all the help that they can get. Their salary cap situation, and obviously they're going to make some changes. There will be players traded or cut or released before 2025 begins. But right now, their salary cap is about $13.11 million. And just to give perspective, you need about $10 million just to sign your rookie draft pick. So they need some more cash, right? And think about this. When the NFL expanded to 17 games, what they did was every player, for the most part, got an extra paycheck, and it didn't count towards every team's salary caps. So in theory, they could do that again, expanding to 18 games, and that wouldn't hurt the salary cap. In fact, it would make things even better. Playing 18 regular season games means more revenue, means an increase in the salary cap, and it helps out the Kansas City Chiefs, gives them more flexibility. It is a win-win for Kansas City if you do that. Not only from a fan perspective of, we get to see another week of Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. More football is always a great thing, but also helps out the Chiefs in their financial situation to be able to do more things and keep this dynasty going. We'll explain more here in just a moment, but let's ask you guys. Should the NFL go to an 18-game schedule? What do you think? Y for yes, in for no. I'm all in. I'm sold. What do you guys think? Weigh in and let us know. Today's show is sponsored by Game Time. Game Time is the place to go for last-minute tickets, the best seats, the lowest prices guaranteed. Game Time is an authorized ticket marketplace in Major League Baseball. which makes getting tickets faster and easier. Prices on the Game Time app actually go down the closer it gets to first pitch. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and the lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying MLB tickets. Save up to 60% off buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy shows, theater productions, and more. Here's how it works. You choose the event you want to go to. They got the prices listed, and then from there, you choose your seat, and you see if you like that seat or not, get the visual, and then you're checking out on Game Time with Apple Pay, Google Pay, Venmo, all major credit card providers. It's fast, easy, and simple, folks. And if you download the Game Time app and create an account, use code ChatSports, you'll get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. The link is in the comments and the description of today's video. Number 2 of why the increased salary cap would be a good thing for Kansas City. You have some big-time extension candidates coming up. We already know the Chiefs took care of Harrison Butker this week, but they got more guys that they want to pay and stick around. And here are a couple of your notable free agents in 2025. They include the likes of Justin Reid, Hollywood Brown, Trey Smith, Nick Bolton, Creed Humphrey, and Derek Nottie on that list. And we've been told that the Chiefs are now shifting their focus. They want to be able to take care of sooner than later Humphrey, Smith, and Bolton. And like we've said previously, every single penny helps out this situation. Makes it a lot easier to be able to afford to pay and keep these guys when you have more financial flexibility to work with, and that's what an 18-game schedule could potentially do. Brett Veach recently spoke about the trio on trying to keep them intact and their plans going forward. He said this: they are 3 really good players, and they're fantastic people throughout this camp. Hopefully we're able to get more than one done. It's just going to be a systematic approach in exchange of communication. We would want nothing more for them to be here, and I'm sure they would want nothing more than to be here. Another reason is potential free agents in 2025. From what we know right now, at the time of this recording, the free agency class for 2025 is stacking up to be a good one. Obviously, the Chiefs aren't going to need a quarterback, so we're not going to talk about Dak or anything like that. But you look at some of these players that are going to be available next year as of right now. Matthew Judon, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Aiyuk, Charvarius Ward, Haason Reddick, Trey Hendrickson, AJ Terrell, Budda Baker, Zack Martin, Josh Sweat. Those are just to name a few, and there's plenty of others out there as well. I'm not even saying that the Chiefs are going to be able to sign any of these guys or have interest in a single one of the players that we just mentioned. But if you are the Kansas City Chiefs and there is one you like, if there is one guy from that list or in next year's free agent market that you say, you know what, we would love to make a run on that player and add him to our roster and have him to our team, well then, all of a sudden, if I know going into next offseason that the cap is even going up more so, that we're going to 18 games and all that, then maybe the Chiefs can be competitive in the free agent market to get one of those guys that they would not be otherwise with the current salary structure. So that's a big win for Kansas City on potential players that they could bring in. Who is a guy that you would like to see the Chiefs sign in 2025? Let us know what you think. Give me a name that you would like to see here in Kansas City next year. The Chiefs have a good thing going. No ifs or ands or buts about that. With 3 Super Bowls in this dynasty, back-to-back, it's been a really good run. And the Chiefs have built this thing off of their foundational pieces, their core of Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Chris Jones. But now they have really just done a good job of putting talent around those guys, of guys they want to keep for many years to come. And the window for the Chiefs is wide open, right? You think about last year. In the Mahomes era, that was the worst roster the Chiefs have had since Patrick Mahomes took over as the starting quarterback. And now you go into the future, and there's no reason why the Chiefs cannot continue to dominate And with some of these young pieces that they have here, these are guys that you'll want to, in theory, keep around for a long time. When you're talking about Mahomes, Pacheco, Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, Travis Kelce. I'm already buying into the King, Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith. Those are just to name a few. I haven't even talked about defense yet. I want Karlaftis on my team for a long time. I want King Felix around. Chris Jones, obviously. Nick Bolton, Trent McDuffie. These are all guys that are going to be the new core, if you will, of this Kansas City Chiefs team for many years to come. And having that financial flexibility now to be able to pay some of those guys. You can't keep everybody. That's not possible. But that 18th game is going to make it easier to keep the guys you want to have. And speaking of Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith, both guys that are trying to figure out their situation, trying to get those extensions. Ideally, you'd like to keep both of them. But if you only had to choose one, who are you keeping? You keeping Creed or are you keeping Trey? Type Creed for Creed Humphrey. Type Trey for Trey Smith. Let us know in the comments section below. Last on our list of why an 18-game season would be a good thing for the Kansas City Chiefs is it allows KC to continue to be aggressive. And they got the right GM to make those decisions. In Brett Veach, we trust, right? He has done such a fantastic job over the years when we talk about what he's done in the draft, to trades, to free agency. He's hardly made many mistakes. And with this flexibility that could potentially happen, then I put Brett Veach in a position where I say, Veach, you go do your thing. Your track record speaks for itself. Go do your thing and make those right calls to continue to keep this thing going. Because when it comes to personnel decisions, think about this. The NFL 100 list that came out the other day, I know it was ridiculous that Mahomes was fourth, but that's not the point of what we're bringing up here. Did you know that Brett Veach was the only GM in the entire NFL to have 4 players in the top 10 of the NFL 100 list that he was a part of drafting? All right? Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Chris Jones, and our old friend Tyreek Hill. That was in large part due to Brett Veach and what he saw in that talent. This is the right man to continue to keep this thing going and build this thing for many years to come. And you give him an 18th game on the regular season, let Veach cook. He'll make it work, and you're going to like the results. And this train can keep on cruising along here for many years to come. Subscribe now to the Chiefs Report for continuing Chiefs coverage. We have all your daily updates you won't find anywhere else. YouTube.com/ChiefsTV. I'm Tyler Jones. I'll see you next time.